or hurting.
We found it was very flawed.
Most of those folks are working. They're contributing to the economy.
A new study is out on the impact illegal immigrants are having on Nebraska, why some say they are helping while others say not so much.
Saving money could end up costing you more.
Trying not to get caught up in some scheme.
With more people doing their back-to-school shopping, scammers are cashing in what you need to watch out for before you buy.
Hundreds of people show up in Lincoln for Nebraska football's annual Fan Day. I'm Paul Gutierrez, and I'll give you an inside look at the event and explain why this year it had extra meaning.
And standing up for a bullied fast food worker.
I'm sitting here trying to eat and you guys are playing a game with him. Knock it off.
What one family did that upset some customers and how others showed their support. Those stories and more now.
From Omaha's only hour of primetime news, this is the Fox 42 News at 9.
A group trying to get federal immigration laws changed is out with a new study.
That's right, and it says illegal immigrants are doing a lot for the state of Nebraska. But, as Fox 42's Katie Blaze uncovered, those fighting to make immigration laws tougher say that study is wrong. And Katie, I know some people are going to take issue with this, but some are saying illegals are actually costing Nebraska's taxpayers, what, millions of dollars?
Yeah, Monty, one study claims it's about $252 million. Now, I found this out today from the president of the Nebraska Taxpayers for Freedom, who says illegal immigrants don't benefit the state at all. His organization works with the Federation for American Immigration Reform, and he says it released a study saying illegal immigrants are actually causing a deficit in Nebraska.
And we found it was very flawed.
Doug Kagan is talking about this report. It's called The Contributions of New Americans in Nebraska. He can't believe how it was put together.
They really didn't differentiate between legal aliens and illegal aliens. So when they say that immigrants contribute to the Nebraska economy, that's probably true, but it's the legal immigrants contributing.
The report was put up by a group that wants to loosen immigration laws. The report claims that in 2014, illegal immigrants in Nebraska earned more than $500 million. About $60 million went to local, state, and federal taxes.
A lot of them work under the radar. They get cash under the table, so they're not paying taxes. There's illegal alien gangs, so there's law enforcement costs there, millions of dollars. They have to go to court. There's court costs.
But Jim Partington has a different opinion on illegal immigrants.
Contrary to the belief of some people, they do pay taxes, including Social Security taxes.
Partington is the executive director of the Nebraska Restaurant Association. While he says he doesn't support illegal immigration,
most economists will tell you that immigration of all kinds benefits the economy of the receiving country.
Because as the report states, illegal immigrants help fill a lot of jobs in different industries.
Most of those folks are working. They're contributing to the economy.
Kagan agrees, but only if they're here legally. He says if they're not, they're just causing more harm than good.
The illegal aliens, they take more from the economy than they contribute.
Both Partington and Kagan say they want to see immigration reform. Partington says he supports comprehensive reform. Kagan says he'd like to see a mandatory E-Verify law passed. This would screen out illegal immigrants and they wouldn't be able to get jobs. Monty?
You know, Katie, Mr. Kagan brings out a good point, differentiating the illegal and legal alien contribution. Any follow-up studies along those lines planned?
We haven't heard of any right now, but we'll definitely let viewers know when we hear more about that.
All right, Katie. The campaign A Reason for Reform was launched nationwide today.
Another hot and humid day across the metro. Clear skies for your Wednesday afternoon for the majority of the day. That's good news. Few thunderstorms just trailing us to the north, but we're not anticipating to see any of this until tomorrow. Now, those high temperatures today, very warm. Omaha 90, Nebraska City 89, Lincoln 91, Atlantic 86, but with those feel-like temperatures, that humidity really playing a factor in how hot it feels. Now, our relative humidity outside very high. Tacoma 85%, Denison 89, really humid out across the metro. We only have about one more day of this really hot and humid weather out there, and we're going to start to see some thunderstorms roll in. I'll tell you when our temperatures are going to dip and when we can expect this rain a little later on in the show.
Back to school shopping deals are back, and so are back to school scams. Now they can come right to your phone via text message. Fox 42's Maria Thompson uncovers what to watch out for so you don't get ripped off before the school year even starts.
Here, put the transcript. Getting excited? Get all new stuff this year.
7-year-old Gabe is just like any other soon-to-be second grader.
I like getting the stuff that I need for school.
Especially the crayons.
And I need my own crayons.
But his stepfather Caleb says thanks to the internet and email coupons, he's a little more careful how they choose to stock up on school supplies.
I was in college. I remember kind of getting a couple about computers, cheap phones like that. Trying not to get caught up in some scheme.
And while families say that it is a fun time getting to gather some supplies into a cart, experts say there are some scams that you should watch out for. And here are some of them. Getting shopping deals via text message or email. The Better Business Bureau warns against clicking on a link from a website you don't know. It could be a virus. There are also fake ads on social media. They pretend they're from stores you know, but maybe they're not. Even if the logo looks familiar, experts suggest going to the store's actual website.
We always come to the store and go with coupons that we find for the store.
And experts say just going to the store is sometimes worth the extra time to avoid these scams.
It's just more interactive, you know, get the kids out there too, see what they want.
Maria Thompson, Fox 42 News.
We have these suggestions and a few others listed online to help you during your back-to-school shopping. To see the full list, visit our website, fox42kptm.com, under local stories.
The body cameras worn by Omaha police officers are said to be a leading example of what other departments should have. That's according to a report by one human rights group. The leadership conference says the department has the correct policy of making sure only the right people have access to the footage. It found the department has set up the right ways for the officers to stop and start recordings. Officers are not allowed to record in areas such as locker rooms, and police must tell people they are being recorded. However, Omaha did not do well when it comes to having a policy of deleting footage and making footage available to people filing complaints. We rarely think a deadly tragedy like the Dallas police shootings or the Orlando nightclub massacre will happen here. Nevertheless, as reporter Nick Popham from our sister station KMEG in Sioux City shows us, police officers from northern Iowa say they're preparing for the worst just in case.
She's got to go! She's got to go! Get down!
The city of Storm Lake wants to be prepared. That's why for the past 3 days, it's hosted an active shooter training course at Buena Vista University's Smith Hall to help prepare law enforcement and emergency services throughout Siouxland in case of a tragedy.
Our philosophy here is we train for the worst and we pray for the best.
Storm Lake Public Safety Director and Police Chief Mark Prosser says this kind of training is becoming more common.
Every organization, every law enforcement and first responder agency that I'm aware of, no matter what the size of community in our state and in our nation, have been training quite a bit over the last many years.
On the final day of this public safety training, the scenario was this. Law enforcement has already taken down a shooter and needs to make sure there aren't any other potential threats, as well as save as many civilians inside the building.
Everyone, including law enforcement and the volunteers that are participating in this training today, aren't using real bullets in their guns, but as an extra precaution required to wear safety goggles.
In this day and age, we don't ever know where an active shooter event's going to occur, so we've got to be proactive, not reactive.
Training director from the Government Training Institute, Dennis O'Connor, came all the way from South Carolina to lead these exercises. He does this kind of training all across the U.S. and says having every type of resource work together can lead to the best result in dealing with an active shooter.
We've got to be able to start bringing our fire, EMS, and law enforcement together to have a working relationship under like an incident command type style.
Now, along with hands-on drills like the one you just saw, the instructors held class sessions as well to help every agency work as a unit in case something unexpected were to happen. The first case of West Nile virus has now been diagnosed in Douglas County. Health officials say the person did not get it in the county. Instead, they got it somewhere else, but they didn't say where. The virus is carried by birds and mosquitoes. This is not the first case of West Nile in Nebraska either. Someone in Lancaster County contracted it last month.
Students at Millard North High School will start off the new school year with a revamped building. The district spent $11 million remodeling the inside and showed it off today. Students will be greeted with a large video board and a $15,000 Mustang art piece. Another feature, a new second floor hallway which will connect to the building. That means students will no longer have to walk outside between classes.
It's just like easier traffic flow. It was really crowded and condensed, and like everyone was bumping into each other, and it was really crazy. But now it's just gonna be a lot easier and more space to spread out.
The money for the renovations came from a bond approved by voters in 2013. The changes also included renaming a library and the dedication of a new library. Millard North students will head back to school next Wednesday. A nearly 50-year-old Omaha icon will soon be getting a makeover. Organizers say they have gotten the $300,000 needed to renovate the Dodge Street pedestrian bridge. We first brought you the story of the group trying to raise the money last night. The bridge runs over Dodge Street. It connects Memorial Park to Elmwood Park. People usually hold signs or protest on the bridge. Repairs are expected to start soon and be completed by next summer. That's the bridge's 50th birthday.
The White House is trying to get more kids in the metro outside. It's all part of First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Move campaign. The goal is to get children outside and explore. Kids hung bats and bluebird boxes. Some even did some gardening there at Fontanelle Park this morning. Organizers say the campaign is designed to get kids to put down their smartphones and think about the outdoors.
But just being out here and having fun and enjoying the weather, I think they're going to start wanting to do it, because once you start, I think it's hard to stop.
Only about 50 cities have such a campaign in place right now. Organizers say the campaign is completely funded by donations.
Is Donald Trump just like Ronald Reagan?
Donald Trump believes he's much more Nixonian than he is Reagan-esque.
The two presidential nominees are dealing with similar issues in their first run for the Oval Office. We explore where the comparisons start and end.
Attending the Iowa State Fair, but not for fun.
This is not just a regular commercial transaction, that you're actually exploiting another human being by doing this.
What state officials say they're cracking down on now, and the lives they hope they save by doing so.
But first, honoring a beloved Husker player.
I felt so bad for his family.
The annual Fan Day just wrapped up in Lincoln. How players and fans honored Sam Foltz.